Very interesting panel discussion and something which is brought newly to you. This speaks about sports and games in school and college education. Sports education is part of school curriculum. Development of sports infrastructure in schools. Sport as a career. Role of sports school. To moderate this, I would like to call upon Colonel Praveen, in charge training and administration, National Cadet Corps, Sikandrabad. Can we please have Colonel Praveen in charge? Also, can I call upon Dr. Trevor Maxwell, former national cyclist and coach, to be a part of this panel discussion. Further, can I call Mr. Victor Amal Raj, former national football player and coach. Can I also have Sri Vishal Kurma, CEO, Voksan University. Can we have Ms. Roja Paul, Principal, Meridian School. Can we have Sri Rama Lakshmaya, Sports Officer, T. Suarez. And finally, can we have Ms. Aarti Nalge, Video Analyst, BCCI. So starting with the session, I would like to give it over to Colonel Praveen, who will be moderating this session.
Good evening, everyone. For the past 2 days, we have been enthralled with the thought-showering and completely engrossed with the intellectually stimulating discussions on the topic which was most relevant, the NEP. Many speakers yesterday, they have gone to the Vedics and talked about Taxila, Odantapuri, Vikramshila and Nalanda, the cradles of civilization. Somehow they were affected by the clash of civilizations, which the Samuel Huntington says. After that, we were fed with the Macaulay's system of education, which was mostly of rote learning of 3 hours, reading, writing, arithmetic. It has become a mysterious process which passes from the lecture note of a professor without entering into the mind of either. And a couple of, just to lighten, the couple of quotes which you see on the t-shirts. I was born intelligent, but the education or the education system ruined me. And they say, the only thing which affected me, my constant growth or my continuous learning, was my education. Somehow there is a hope for this change to be made with this new education policy. Again, it comes with a huge baggage of objectives. Humanistic, flexibility, integrated, inquiry-driven, dialogue, discussion-based, discovery-oriented. But how will we be able to achieve all these things if the student community in the present generation, the Gen X or generation, are physically weak, mentally unable to withstand the pressures, emotionally imbalanced, they can't take any emotions, they are fraught and with fear, anxiety, so many vagaries of society are affecting them. So there is only one magical bullet with us. The panacea of all these things can be achieved if you put them on the ground, put them into sports, let them play, let them sweat. There are so many qualities which they can learn, which the school, which restricts them to the 4 walls, won't be able to. There are so many qualities, the character building, the courage of conviction, courage to face the challenges in life, character, creativity, everything, team building, you name the adjective, they all can be achieved by this when they are included into sports. However, we have been hearing the importance of sports for a very long time. We have all the proverbs, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, sound mind. But the thing is, where is the proverb and the practical approach? Where is the intent and implementation? There is a huge void. Now, today with me, the elite panel which we have are a thoroughbred gentlemen who have dedicated their entire life. I'll take a couple of minutes because I will be doing injustice if I don't introduce them. As such, they don't need any introduction. The first on to my right is Dr. Maxwell Trevor. Cycling and Dr. Maxwell Trevor are synonymous with this country. From 1980 to 1991, 11 consecutive years of national championship, breaking the record of his own records he has broken many times, which after even 3 decades, there is no one who could surpass him. He has represented India in Asia and Asian Championship and the World Championships. He has held innumerable number of appointments in advisory council. Presently, he is the advisor for the Khelo India mission, which is happening all over the country in scouting, identifying the talent. Apart from that, but the greatest thing which he is giving back to the society is in the FMCGs, Dabarco, PepsiCo, and now he is the CEO of the Oxen University, one of the first, private universities which is located in the outskirts of Hyderabad. He will bring the industry perspective of how we can ameliorate the present situation of sports. On to his left is an acclaimed academician. He is a teacher, principal, friend, guide, mentor. Ms. Roja Paul, he is the principal of Meridian School. And on to the extreme is, I have to remind you about the Sun Tzu's war strategy. Like if you know your enemy and know yourself, you don't have to worry about the n number of 100 of battles outcome, because she is the video strategist Aarti Nalge. This is the special topic and career which she will be touching upon, along with many other careers. Aarti Nalge, after doing her video strategic course, she was selected by the BCCI, and ever since 2010, she was part of Syed Mustaq Ali, Duleep Trophy, Ranji Trophy, Vijay Merchant, and Colonel C.K. Naidu's tournaments. In 2014, since 2014, she is part of women's cricket team, which she gave all the strategies of enemies' weaknesses. If you know your enemies' weaknesses, our team can, overpower them and do their own tactics and strategies, because strategy is very important. And 2017, she was at Lord's also during the final World Cup, Women's World Cup cricket match. So Aarti Nalge comes with a huge experience, and the lady, I think she is the first Indian women video strategist who has been again felicitated by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. So without much ado, whatever the topics that were given to us, I'll directly pose the first question to Dr. Maxwell Travel. So why do you think sports are necessary? What are the qualities that they give? And to become a sporting nation, where are we and what is the long road ahead? Can you please elucidate and enlighten the audience, sir, please?
Good evening, everyone. The importance of sport for anyone in life, I think it's extremely important, because if you talk to people who are not successful in life, I interact with a lot of successful people. I also interact with a lot of people who are not so successful in life. And when you ask the people who are not so successful in life, where did they go wrong? Some will tell you they could not handle failure. Others will tell you they could not handle success. Some might tell you they could not handle the hectic lifestyle because they didn't have a disciplined lifestyle. And so on. And if you ask me, all these areas are addressed by sport. In sport, you learn how to handle success when you win a race. You learn how to handle failure when you lose a race. You learn how to handle pressure because you're always under pressure to train hard to win a race, or the pressure of your opponents and your competitors are always there. Time management. As a sportsman, you have a very disciplined life in which you have a disciplined eating habit, you have a disciplined lifestyle. There's a lot of time management that one needs to learn, and one does learn when he's a sportsman. If you take a student, he goes to the ground, he trains, he manages his school time, his homework, his training time. In the 24 hours, he learns how to manage the 24 hours very well. That is a great asset as you go on in life. So I think if you look at sport from any angle, It is extremely important part of anyone's life. You know, recently I was talking to somebody and they did not make it they were not so successful in life. And he said that his indisciplined lifestyle caused him to lose out on a lot and not allowed him to be successful in life. So if you look at any angle of your life, somewhere sports is going to help you. So I think it's an extremely important part of it. And I have no doubt in my mind with a person like Sri Naveen Mittal Garu, IAS, he's done an excellent job in the educational system. He's given the educational system of Telangana a new dimension. And with a person like him, I have no doubt in my mind that sports in our educational system will lack nowhere. We thank you, sir, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you and appreciate for the excellent service you've been doing in the field of education. Thank you, sir.
I'd like to add on the adjectives, whatever you say: unwavering commitment, dedication, undaunted faith, indomitable spirit, courage, everything you will get in sports. It actually teaches the philosophy of life also. If you have seen the Asian cricket, on one Sunday with an opponent team, we erupted with joy because we won. Exactly 1 week later on Sunday, you are down. Nothing is permanent. But if you can apply this philosophy to everything, life is also like, some Albert Einstein said, life is like riding a bicycle. If at all you have to maintain the balance, you should keep moving it. So it teaches so many things. My next question from here would be to Aarti Nalge. Sports as a career. We are a nation with a teeming population. What are your views, Aarti, on sports as a career? Can you please explain what are the different? Because when we see sports, we only see those two players or someone who is published on the papers. We consider them as heroes and they are the stalwarts of the hero. But the thing is, there is an entire ecosystem and supportive system which is working for them to make them the harbingers. Can you please explain various types of careers which are available through sports?
And Naveen sir, for giving me this opportunity, to bring up this topic called as, can you take sports as a career? There was a myth, with the parents thinking that, what will my child achieve if my child is just playing? Maybe once he or she is 30 years old or 40 years old, they'll have to leave the sport. They have nothing in the sport for them. And because of this myth in their mind, we have lost a lot of talented players in the country. But, the same thing luckily did not happen to me. I had been a state player, a national player with the country. Apart from that, when I quit playing, I still had that love and passion for sport. And I come from a cricketing background. So, and because of this, I wanted to really find out what can be a career to me in sports. I was deeply hurt when I knew that, I could not go ahead and play cricket. But then I thought, let me make a career out of it. And that's how I recognized that, there are different kind of courses which happen. They could be at the diploma courses. They could be undergraduation courses, post-graduation courses too. A lot of people are not aware of the same. Apart from that, if there is a student who is interested into science, maths, they can still go ahead, and work as a psychologist, get their studies done, work as a psychologist, a physiotherapist too. There are a lot of opportunities as a broadcaster. There are a lot of opportunities with the media. There could be a sports photographer too. That's how, when I got to know, I went into the video and strategic course. I got it certified with BCCI, and then I became a video analyst and a strategic analyst with the team. And that's when the doors were open, where I got an opportunity to work with the Indian team. And I'm just giving an example of mine so that it is it is realistic. And so that parents should also see if their kid is interested in sports, why don't you encourage them? We have a coach here with us in the panel. You can see he also was a player and then he became a coach. So that's how they have perceived their careers. Me too have perceived my career like that. And we need part of any sport they are interested into, which will keep them physically active too. So sports as a career is really very important. Don't think that you will not fetch anything. 9 to 5 is not a job. You know, you can do beyond that.
Please.
I'm sorry, I know it is not right, but she spoke about careers which are relating to. Well, I have been into sports, and I'm a principal. So it's not what only the careers that you are. I am what I am today. It's because of being part of sports from a very young age. So how do I see myself different from a field of sports? Sports taught me all that Maxwell sir has mentioned, time management. Most importantly, dealing with stress and playing to galleries. There is no other, if I may say, profession or opportunity or anything that will help us to deal with failure. So if I endured to become from a homeroom teacher in a matter of 2 decades to become a principal, it's because of the discipline and the values and skills that were given by sports. So yes, a principal too, I would like to add to that.
Thanks, Arti. It was actually eye-opening thing because we don't, except for the players, we don't know much. The strategists, umpires, scorers, media journalists, camera persons, so many, there is an entire ecosystem which is supporting, especially in this IT world when you are sitting in the Silicon Valley where these graveyard shifts which are termed as irregular timings of American timing, the back end office which you are doing. And I would like to share, she has traveled half the world without spending a single rupee. How many of us? We must have traveled, but think we have spent from our own pocket without being under pressure, because players are under pressure. She is not under pressure. She collects the videos, she develops the strategies, and she informs. So this is one field. Definitely, if at all children are interested, we should encourage them to go such fields. Having said that, my next question is to Mr. Victor. So sports, in any case, it's a costly thing. You need ground, you need sponsors, you need specialists, you need coaches. You need a whole lot of infrastructure to deal with it. But let's be realistic. As a country in India, where are we with the current state of infrastructure? May I request you kindly deliberate on this issue, sir?
A very good evening to all. First of all, I thank IndiGlobal for inviting me. With regards to your question, infrastructure, we saw a lot of infrastructure in Bengal. I was in Bengal for 18 years playing for big 3 clubs. The infrastructure they had, in our time, we had only Eden Gardens. Then subsequently in the 80s, they had constructed Salt Lake Stadium. Then each club has own stadium. Mohun Bagan has own ground, East Bengal has own ground, Mountain Sporting Club has own ground, and other local clubs also have their own ground. So if you have a own ground, then we have a lot of, what you call it, encourage under age 10, 12, for boys and girls, we encourage. So we lack a lot of what you call infrastructure in our country. Now at present, the infrastructure available only in Northeast. There's Assam, other place.
Manipur, Nagaland.
In Northeast only. Sikkim, Darjeeling, Guwahati, lot of what you call infrastructure has come on sports angle. Not only football, other games, cricket, basketball, badminton. So we lack, even for example, we in 60s, 70s, Hyderabad produced a lot of Olympians. In 1956, when India participated in the Melbourne Olympics, 9 players from Hyderabad. That time we had a lot of encouragement. We have football grounds Patamaidan Club ground was there. In Secunderabad, Hyderabad, and also colleges, we had football grounds. The sports culture was there. Now we lack like that. We lack.
True, sir. Let's accept the reality, but we have to find a solution. Probably at the end of the panel discussion, I'm sure we'll be able to find the solution from one of the panelists. So my next question is to Ms. Roja Paul. Yeah, please, sir.
I do understand that this is not my question, and I just thought I'll just butt in and give a little bit of perspective on the infrastructure things which are going on. And I think in the state of Telangana, I would definitely, makes me proud to share that with everyone, that the sports infrastructure facilities which are being created here in this state is definitely phenomenal. And many of the educational institutions are coming forward to really build that kind of a infrastructure which is going to be beneficial not only for the students, but also as a budding sporting nation, which we want to be. Just to share with you that Watson University, it's a new state-private university awarded by Honorable Government of Telangana. And we have put together one of the finest infrastructures in the sports as we speak today. So you talk about volleyball, we have it there. Sand volleyball, we have it there. The FIFA level standard football, two of the football grounds, we have it there. ICC standard cricket ground, we have it there. Basketball, if we talk about, we have it there. The badminton courts, the open badminton courts, we have it there. The indoor ones, which are as per the turf and the maple wood specifications which are there by the Badminton World Federation. So those kind of standards are being maintained to provide to the students. And the idea is to catch them young, to catch them right. And the more you are able to do that with the kind of infrastructure, and not only infrastructure, but also with the kind of best-in-class coaches which we have in the country, thankfully, because of our legacy, we will be able to put that forth, and that is going to reflect in the kind of work which our students is going to do and make our nation proud.
Well, but we have to think in a larger perspective of 75% of the rural population which we have. So I will come to you. Probably we will find a solution when I ask the question, which is very pertinent, and I will corner you on that CSR thing because you come from an industry. Okay, Ms. Roja Paul, let's be very honest. Let's talk, brutally honest rather. Let's be realistic. In your 1 week curriculum of school, how many periods do you have for PT? No, let's be.
Is it by the board or is it by the school?
School.
Okay. By the board, it tells us to give physical activity in different forms. It could be yoga, it could be physical education, it could be free play, it could be anything. But I would like to be honest, like as you requested me, most schools put it on paper. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say.
I'd love to add on here.
We put it on paper. So the moment there is some shortage in syllabus, okay, somebody is running behind, which gets cut off, snipped off, okay? But it is sad to say, and I am a product of somebody who has done well for herself. Because of sports, the discipline and the values and skills that it has given to me. But I, as an administrator too, probably have been guilty of doing the same. But I think what we need to do smartly is, or rather be very rigid about it, just like how I have evidence of assessment for academics, I should have evidence even for sports. Then nobody will do a snipping tool to that.
We have almost, as per the data, more than 10 lakh schools. So you need 10 lakh sports PT instructors. Do we have that?
So when there is, if I'm not a good economist, demand and supply.
Fine, but the thing is, it's a reality check because we can keep talking till the cows come
It's that they, for sports, sir, they don't see evidence. But for academics, I see number. But for sports, which is the longest, this thing, and NEP actually speaking about 21st century skills. I don't think that these 21st century skills, academics will be able to facilitate those as much as extracurricular, co-curricular can do. Most importantly, sports.
But my request to all the school teachers, especially because we need to catch them young at a very young age, maybe we can daily for at least 15 to 20 minutes, it is in your hands. We can teach children yoga and meditation without, because our generation, I am very honest again, our generation has done maximum damage by bringing in religion into everything which was very good. We have protected it. We are insulated by bringing religion into everything. Let the children meditate on the blooming flower, the river, the flowing river, or nothing, just inhale and exhale. Because the moment you bring in yoga and meditation, there are n number of other schools of thoughts which come into the place. Nobody, it is for our own good health. The moment you say you have to chant something, then there are different schools of thoughts which come in. But it is in our hands while doing some meditation at third or fourth, if you can introduce, because college is very difficult. The catch them at the age of 8, 7 or 8 is the time wherein you have to tap them. They have to get into that regime of daily doing that meditation, and while doing meditation, let them be introduced to the other forms of divine music. Let be Ustad Bismillah Khan, Zakir Hussain, M.S. Subbulakshmi's birthday, which birth anniversary was yesterday, anything of Carnatic music, Melakarta Ragas, anything of that you can play. It serves two purposes, one of meditation, one the children will be introduced to the music, which is again a bliss. They will find their happiness when they go. And there is a saying, as you say, you have to train, the more you train in peace, less you bleed in war. This is the time wherein you have to train them. When they train, when they get into the real world, which is not so beautiful, then they are ready to face those challenges. So I request from this forum to kindly, this is, no board has to say, it is the principles which can always implement, taking 15 to 20 minutes of introduction of yoga and meditation. Even if you have a playground, if you don't have a playground, we'll not get into all those details. My next question will be to the sports officer of the social welfare. Sir, we have the raw power. We have the raw power. You are training you get the rocks and you polish them to the diamonds. There is so much of hunger in their belly. There is a fire. There is aspirations to excel in their life and in their sports also. Like we have seen so many examples which the secretary mentioned yesterday. Mr. Vishal was telling that we have the world-class infrastructure. Hyderabad has got the state-of-the-art equipment, infrastructure. But sir, sorry to say, Asifabad or Adilabad are very far off. What is your take on those issues, sir?
Very good evening, all of you. It's a great opportunity for me to share my views in this Global Education Summit. In order to get into my topic, first of all, I want to say some information. I want to share it. We have 238 institutions from 5th to intermediate and 30 degree colleges. The Telangana Social Welfare Residential Education Institution Society, under the aegis of Government of Telangana, we have been established 28 sports academies, 24 up to intermediate and 4 for degree colleges also. We will conduct a BAT test at a school level first to identify the most potential and able students to get into these academies for all disciplines. We have disciplines like boxing, judo, wrestling, volleyball, softball, handball, chess, athletics, and we have golf also. Soon after completion of the selection trials at school level, we will conduct district, then zone, then state. We will see that these students will pull up at a designated venues where you have been established. We will see the specialized coaches will be there. That means NIS diploma holders and certificate holders, where we will pay 35 to 40,000 to the NIS diploma holders and certificate holders from 20 to 25,000. With all these things, in order to strengthen the sports activities at school level. The sports activities, the academies, soon after doing all these things, within span of 3 years, we have achieved many medals at international level, national and state level. Innumerable medals we have achieved. We got laurels to the Telangana state and social for residential education institution. For statistics purpose, national level so far, we have achieved 457 medals, and our students, 1,258 students were participated nationally. 13 students participated international level. Of them, 7 got medals at international level. If you come to the state level, 901 state gold medalists are there, 674 silver medalists are there at state level, and 475 bronze medalists are there. Apart of this, even if we are getting a good result also, some challenges that we are facing in our society. Very first and foremost, just now Praveen Garu requested how many physical education teachers are there. In our institution, that means in our society, we should have 506 physical education teachers and physical directors should be there. Totally 268 institutions are there. But we have only 115 physical education teachers. This is one of the big challenges that we are facing. While we are conducting the selection trials at school level, only we are utilizing the part-time teachers because of some technical reasons. Even our authorities are trying to recruit, but due to these technical reasons, we could not. Another important challenge, we are facing that soon after pulling all these kids in academics, these kids should be migrated from one institution to another institution from 50 to 60 kilometers or more than that also. They will not adjust the atmosphere. We have to convince them like anything, parents and students. Somehow we succeed. Later on, after completion of 3 to 4 years, they will come to national level player. Definitely they will reach the 10th class on another day. This phobia, 10th class phobia, we are facing a lot. Most of the principals and my senior officers are cooperating like anything so that we can get good result. In the same manner, just now we discussed about the infrastructure. In the infrastructure, we have very low infrastructures we are maintaining, but due to that, our students should not get back. Our Secretary Ronald Rosar had a MOU with Gopi Chand Academy, which is going to be in use within short period. There our athletes will utilize that infrastructure. These elected players will take part at international level definitely. Another important challenge, this is a fact that what I am going to say in front of you all, different organizations will be there because the students, those who want to take part at state and national level, they are supposed to take SGF, School Games Federation tournament and association tournaments. School Games Federation tournaments are nothing but it's a affiliated and recognized organization, whereas association tournaments, every association, every discipline, we will have 2 to 3 bodies, which is the recognized body to whom we are supposed to send these kids. Soon after getting the certificate should also be recognized. It should be benefited to the student. But there we are facing lot of problem. And one more thing from the associations, that means organizations, those who are conducting the tournaments, they will see the last moment, the list of the students, the journey period, and before that they may not inform us the expenditure that which we have to meet. These are the some challenges that we are facing, but overall with the kind heart of my secretary and senior officers, we are getting very good result. From Adilabad to Mahabubnagar, many students are there. In coming nearby future, social for residential education institution society players will lead Telangana. Now itself, in softball, the entire team is Telangana Social Fair Residential Education Society only, representing Telangana. And 50% of the handball players are from our society, those who are representing Telangana state. Badminton, the entire badminton team itself is ours only. Like this, the sports activities are running in our society under the leadership of Ronald Rosgar. Thank you very much.
Great, sir. It's quite heartening to hear all the positive things, sir. There is always a room for improvement because seeing the potential of the tribal belts, there is always a room for improvement. Probably this is what this policy intervention, NEP, and this connecting like-minded people is for. And now my next and the last question, because of the paucity of time, a most pertinent question is, next year probably when the census will be declared, I think we are the most populous country on this planet for 1.4 billions. And every 3 crores birds being taken, we can't burden completely on the government. We can't put the onus completely on the government. There is a role of CSR also. If you have seen the Orissa government model, which the Honorable Prime Minister also says time and again, the PPP model with which they have gone and they have taken the hockey, and after 41 years, our national game, hockey, we won after 41 years in the Olympics. But lot of planning has gone behind in that PPP model of Orissa model. Now, can I now request Mr. Vishal, kindly in brief deliberate upon Orissa model and what is the CSR role in contributing to the sports stadiums across the districts?
A couple of data points, as Colonel Praveen mentioned, population of 140 crores. And most of the younger children will come from the rural hinterlands. So, which obviously means that the kind of avenues or the infrastructure avenues what we're looking at for sports is something which is not available in all the pockets of the country. Now on one side, I did mention about Watson University and the kind of infrastructure what we are building. But that's one pocket of success which we are able to see at one place. Now, how do we replicate this? That's the key question here. How do we replicate this as multiple hundreds and thousands of pockets of success all across the country, across the hinterlands, so that the younger students in the rural hinterlands are able to get the benefit of it? And I think that's where the Odisha model comes into the picture. And it's really impressive to, as I was reading through some of the articles around that, and we figured out that the high performance centers, how they have created particularly, and one state, one sport kind of a model which they are talking about, not necessarily saying the other sports they will not focus on, but they would definitely focus on the rest of the sports as well. But having said that, I think the public-private partnership, what is being anchored through the educational institutions, because that's where the student is at the end of it, and that's where what the real benefit is coming from. So the corporates, if they are able to come forward and through their various CSR initiatives, one of the initiatives could be towards the funding for the right infrastructure in those various schools and colleges which are there in the rural hinterlands. One way, of course, the entire burden of the creation of this infrastructure should not be there on the government itself. That's one. Second, CSR initiatives anyways are for the societal benefit, what the organizations work on today and the corporates work on. So among the various other initiatives, this could be definitely take a steering forward to move towards building those kind of things, and that's what Odisha government is already doing. Apart from that, we have some of the stalwarts and big names there in the country anyways who have been really brought a lot of proud moments for the country in the various sports, and they are running their own foundations, they are running their own federations, they are running their own coaching classes, they are running their own infrastructure as well as coaching for those kind of students. Now imagine if all of these three come together, the educational institution who is giving you the platform, the corporate coming forward and providing through the CSR initiatives the right infrastructure, and the stalwarts in the sports authorities who have brought anyways great laurels to the country, and they provide the right coaching which is required to the talent which is available in the hinterlands. And we are, I think, in a perfect sweet spot towards creating a recipe for many more Olympians from the country. Thank you so much.
With this, we come to this session. Probably I think they should have, Sudhir would have given more time, but it doesn't matter. This is the start point where we can start by thinking on these sports issues, and maybe in the next sessions, I always request again, principals, you are the principals and school teachers, you can always bring the change. The demographic dividend which we are basking upon and boasting is going to be perilous and cataclysmic disaster if we don't address that issue and we tap them for the right kind of things, because the negatives are all available. So we need to put them under the right things so that they can learn from their childhood. So with this, and with my always request is 50,000 crores could not save a person who, the big bull, because he neglected his own health. Let that be a lesson. We all take out some time, because when we do some physical activity daily, our children will also do. That's my humble request. Let a small prayer and I will end. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. May all be happy, healthy, free from the diseases. May we all be protected from the vagaries of nature and the life, and let the peace prevail all over. And I thank all the panelists and all the august audience. Sorry?
The laptop.
Sir, hello.
You can continue.
Yeah, we'll just close. And I thank Mr. Sudhir, the man who is the role model and who has taken the initiative, Shri Naveen Mittalji, for giving this opportunity. It's a great forum. Probably we look forward for many of these things ahead also. Thank you very much, Manando.
Thank you so much, sir. You can just stay back on the stage. After this very enthralling sports panel discussion, we would just like to thank you, for which I would like to call upon our program chairperson, Shri Naveen Mittal, IAS Commissioner, Collegiate Education and Technical Education, Government of Telangana. So I would first like to call upon Colonel Praveen, in charge, Training and Administration, National Cadet Corps, Sikandrabad, for wonderfully moderating the session so well. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Victor Amal Raj, former national football player and coach. Audience, I'm sure it's the last session. The claps can be a little louder. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Ram Lakshmaya, Sports Officer, T. Suarez. Next up would be Miss Aarti Nalge, Video Analyst, BCCI. Next, I would like to call Miss Roja Paul, Principal, Meridian School. Can we have Dr. Trevor Maxwell, former national cyclist and coach? And finally, to end, can we have Mr. Vishal Kurma, CEO, Watson University? Request all the awardees to please come forward for a group picture. Yeah. With the mementos. Thank you everybody.